Yes, people. Hope everyone is doing good. I'm doing great because Leeds United has signed a signing. Signed a signing? We've brought in a new player. We've signed someone. How long's that been? A month. We've been waiting for this moment, and it's a good one. It's been dubbed the Somerville replacement. Largie Ramazani has come in from Spain. I'm very excited to explain and give my thoughts on the player. Before we get into that, I want to do a quick shout out to a few guys who were on this guy for months and years. I've only been on the hype train for a month at most, so I don't watch a lot of Spanish football, and I should. But Ethan Online, you've probably seen him on Twitter. I'll try to put them in the description if I can. Oscar, of course, you know Oscar, All Leeds TV Oscar. It's been talking about this guy, and Joe Donahue mentioned him in his podcast and in an article, I believe, a month or so ago. So those guys are on this. If you want extra information, go check them guys out. I've got to do my due diligence. I've got to give credit to people where it's due. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's go. Let's do the scout report. One quick thing about this guy, he does backflips for celebrations, which he will not do at Leeds because that is... Don't do that at Leeds, mate. It won't end well. We have a bad record with injuries usually and bad luck. So please don't do backflips. But anyway, here he is. Let's get into it. No one cares about my humour. Anyway. Yeah, so he is. Largie Ramazani, Belgium. I think he represented Belgium under-19s international. Obviously plays for Almeria in the second tier of Spanish football. Just got relegated. 23 years old. Small guy. Very small guy, like Somerville. I will mention the name Somerville a lot in this video, but he's not, let me just clarify, he's not a direct replacement in terms of profile of player than Somerville. They're very different attributes and very different strengths. That has to be clear. But yeah, he is 54 kilograms according to some sources, which is crazy. He's very small, but he's very diminutive, quick, and actually a really powerful runner. Right-footed, but fairly comfortable on his left. I've seen a few finishes on his left side, a few dribbles on his left side. Position, left wing, centre forward, can also play a little bit on the right as well. To an extent, kind of fits that mould of a fluid player, kind of an all-round player in the front three, but predominantly a winger. And that's, I believe, where he'll play for Leeds United. Get into the one part of the original scout report, which I've kept into this because I realised that they were quite boring for YouTube videos. But anyway, his technical ability. So first touch and ball control, attributes any footballer should have, let's be real, especially in a possession-based system. Decent first touch, like nothing, not a kind of Jack Harrison, Rafinha first touch, but a guy who is always smart with his first touch. One of them guys who, when they receive the ball and there's a defender running to them, first time round them, like Rutt used to do at times and Somerville used to do at times. Very quick thinker with the ball. So first touch decent. Ball control is excellent. Really nice control of the ball. Which again, that close court ball control, that low centre of gravity, those type of attributes that you associate with a type of winger that can be extremely dangerous in the Championship. I don't think profiles of wingers in this league are particularly powerful with the output, with the power, with the aggression. I think they have one or two of them. But the signings we have to bring in to replace the players we've left need to be quite all-round in terms of attributes they bring to the side. And he's quite an all-round winger. He is very stable in what he does, in terms of he's clearly raw, powerful, quick, and decent technically on the ball as well. Again, finishing 7. That's got some decent finishing in his career. Again, always could be improved as a winger, but decent finisher of the ball. And one thing I like about his finishing, and we'll get into the consistency side of it. That is not a problem, but a thing he could improve on. But on his days, a nice finish on him, likes to find the corners, can use both feet in that situation. He is predominantly heavily right-footed, but he's fairly comfortable in finishing situations, in kind of quick snap situations on his left, which is nice because that makes you hard to mark, right? Dribbling 9, he's a very good dribbler. Very good dribbler. Very quick, very good dribbler. Very direct, powerful dribbler as well. And that's the word, that power that he's got in his running, I really like about him. Progressive passes, again, he's not a creative in the sense that going to cut through defensive with line breaking passes or all this kind of stuff. Fairly basic in terms of passing profile. Nothing to shout home about. Has got a few decent assists from decent passing situations, to be fair. Definitely more of a off-the-cuff passer, you know what I mean? Sees a guy, if he drifts inside and he sees a striker running off him into that space, he will play a ball through and he'll get assists from that because he's so aggressive and so direct. but not a an amazing passer. But he's not someone that's necessarily reliant on that in his game. It's something that is decent in his game that he can definitely improve and build upon. Sure, there's a lot of strength there that he probably won't need to. Let's be honest. But shot creating actions, it's important for a winger. And he's given the fact that how he can move inside, and how quick and powerful he moves from either wing, centrally, whatever that is, from deep even. He creates a lot of actions. Yeah, trust me. Creativity, I give an 8, and this probably could be lower because the word creativity is not someone that necessarily scores. It's a guy that is viable to create chances for teammates. If we brought in a Cabal, for example, that kind of structure of player is the type of person who has a very high creativity. For me, this guy's a runner and a finisher who in deeper areas can create from the way in which he drives with the ball and his decision making at times. But yeah, shooting 7. It's hard because, like I said, I've watched literally this afternoon. I watched 4 hours of footage of him from games last season. So a lot of my thoughts are going on that based on some statistical analysis I've been doing and stuff like that. So based on shooting, yeah, it's fairly it's fair. When he's in a poor side, which he was last year, there weren't so much shooting up like chances. To be fair, very poor side, by the way. We got relegated and didn't win many at all, and this was probably hampered his output and what he can bring to a side and his attributes. It's hard to really define exactly what he is without having watched him for years. But yeah, there is physical, there is technical attributes. Sorry, not his physical. Psychological, mentality. Like I said, the persistence of him. I like his persistence in games. Like I said, it's hard in a poor side to maintain consistency and maintain confidence. But he seems to an extent. He's not a guy who is shy. He will drive. He's a powerful runner. He's an explosive runner. And he maintains that if the chance is available. And I'll let you go through them. Reading the game tactically is probably something that you can develop just to get into the game a little more and be a bit more of a asset consistently throughout games. Speed thinking, thinking of speed on the ball. Does he see the game? How does he see the game? Again, I put an 8. But again, that's about adapting to the system you're in, understanding the system. He's in a poor system where, for the most part anyway, the reliance on him was within one position. I didn't really see, from what I saw, him constantly moving around the pitch. He maintained position, and that's probably part of the system. Concentration, I give him a 9 because he came up with some big moments in a poor side, and I rate that. I like that. That means to me you've got a good mentality, to be honest with you, in a very poor side. To maintain concentration and still get a good goal output and still create chances in a poor side, for me, is very impressive. Physical as well. Now, there is some downsides to this. Using body to maintain the ball, I like about him. He is short. He is a very small guy, like Somerville was, like Nonto, like Dan James is. But I don't think he's necessarily fragile in the sense that, this guy's good at winning free kicks. He's good at using his body to manipulate the ball. Getting your body between ball and man. He's very good at that. He's good at using it. He's not the strongest. Let's be real. He's very small. There might be fullbacks that have that physicality and that pace to dominate kind of certain areas of the game against him. But again, that's about getting him in the right part of the system where he has the opportunity to drive at these guys as opposed to 1v1 battles where it's more stagnant. And that'll come down to the system and how he fits within the system. Acceleration is rapid. What else do you want to say? He's really quick. Physicality, I put 7. Now, I need to separate this because physicality to me isn't just strength. This is about pace, power as well, right? How you use your body. But core strength, he's not that strong. He's not a strong player. He uses his body well, and he's a powerful runner, of course. Myself, for example, I'm a powerful runner. I've got strong legs. I can run quick, fast. But I'm not strong, right? But I know how to use my body. I know how to draw fouls, which helps that physical side of it. But there is an adaptation there to the Championship. La Liga naturally isn't the most physical league. I know it's a bit of a blanket statement. It's a very aggressive league at times and stuff. But compared to the Championship, we've seen it. Like, let's be real, you watch it every weekend. There's a lot of big fouls, big challenges there, and not just slide tackles, like proper tussles and stuff like that. So that will be an adaptation he needs to make, that physical perspective. Movement, I give him a 9. I love his movement. I think that's one attribute of his game that I like about him. And again, in a system where he's allowed, to have that freedom, to have that rotation with the left side, the middle, the guy at the top, allowed to find spaces and really push on from there is important, and is something that will help him become a better player. Fitness 6, just because he was never really for most of the season, he was never really consistent performer that played 90 minutes. Again, I can't really attest that. I've not seen him for years. I can't really talk about that. But in terms of what I saw, he came off in each of the games at around 1. He came off at half time. I'm not sure if that was injury, but he got 3 assists in that game, which is crazy. 1, he came off around the 70th minute, 1 around the 65th. So I give it a 6. And here was just his stats real quickly. Like I said, where I'm up there, whatever. Here, can play either side of the striker and of the 10. Definitely a winger for me. Definitely that Somerville replacement in that sense. Again, not a player that is very similar to Somerville in the way he kind of moves. For me, he's more of a powerful runner, like I said. He relies on pace and power to get forward, as opposed to Somerville's had a bit more guile about him. I think Ethan Online, shout out to Ethan Online, said, and this is a great comparison, kind of that Mane-like character, little Mane kind of thing. And I do see aspects of that, and I like that comparison. That is a good style of player. Not necessarily this lovely flowing technical dribbler, but a proper power runner. Will get the ball and run with it with pace and power and be really direct. As you've seen, played for Almira, 128 appearances, 22 goals, 9 assists. Was at Manchester United youth for the rest of his career. Went to Almira in Spain. Yeah, for a young guy, decent experience there, not too bad at all. Played in the Premier League under 21s, Premier League 2 under 18s. Played in the Europa League, had an appearance in the Europa League. Played in the Liga, 62 appearances in the Liga, which is big. That's important. It's a great experience. Key strengths and concerns. Now, the key strengths, and these are all I really spoke about: forward drive, powerful runner, people, powerful direct runner, aggressive runner as well, off the ball, looking for spaces, driving into spaces. You to be fair, though, you need a creator. We need a creator to really help this guy excel for me. We really need a creator in that 10, and this guy will explode because he's just got that direct forward running where he will find spaces and defenders can't keep up with him. But we need a director to find him more effectively. Ball control, really nice ball control. Close dribbling, 1v1 dribble. He'll destroy the guy 9 times out of 10. 1v1 wing play again, and he's got that kind of raw power and pace. 1v1 wing play is something that is a core for him. It's a standard procedure. He's a good 1v1 winger. Any winger in this league is a good 1v1 winger. You're halfway there of being a decent winger in this league. It's just about the things around that. Finishing off both feet. Something in the games I watched, he is right-footed. Did score, I tell that by his dominant dribbling foot, but did score 2 goals with his left. So for me, that shows someone with the ability to use both feet if required in those kind of quick, snappy situations where it's on your left and it's a shooting opportunity. He will make it, and he scored from that, which is good because that makes you harder to mark. Explosive runner. It's that word, explosive. Powerful. Really small, but really aggressive, and carries a lot of power in his running. And his pace, he's really quick. Concerns? This guy, I believe he got 9 yellow cards last season. And this is simply because of how direct and aggressive he is. He dives into tackles. He gets yellows. That could be a problem. You might miss a few games with cards. You might get a few reds from accumulative yellows. I don't think he's necessarily a bad. He doesn't have bad challenges. It's just he accumulates a lot of yellow cards, which equals reds. He needs control of that. He does, of course. That is something he has to learn, and consistency as well. Just because the games I watched, well, one of them he was in it One of them, he didn't do anything for 30 minutes, and then they got 3 assists in 10 minutes. And then one of them, he was fairly consistent. So to me, that in that small period shows a little bit of inconsistency that he needs to develop. And like I said, if he didn't have this, if these weren't problems, he had consistency and he had top end products and top decision making at all times, he wouldn't be in the Championship. And that's probably one that can be on there. At times, the decision making. There's a few times I'm watching where he tries the wrong pass, he tries these passes that are not on when he can drive at times. He can just stops and tries to find a pass. At times, you're looking to not just drive. But these are all lovely things for Daniel Farke to solve. Because for me, this guy is a very good option for the Championship. Well, I say a good option for the Championship. I think he's a too good of option for the Championship, in my opinion. He has stuff to improve. The discipline, the consistency, at times the decision making, that can improve. From what I've seen anyway. Like I say, I mentioned other guys who might know a little more. But at this level, he's going to cause damage. That's all I'll say. Definitely going to cause damage. And you should be excited because he is an exciting player. And we know one thing Daniel Farke does very well, for me anyway, is he gives the front players freedom to attack and create. This guy will love that. We'll dominate possession. We'll dominate on counters again. 2 aspects of the game which kind of lost a little bit in the last few weeks. With a guy like this, and getting that creative 10 in and maybe an 8 as well, we dominate in counters again. Him and Dan James and Nonto. That's a dominant 3. With Mateo Joseph as well. So dominating possession, guy like that. A lot of 1v1s for him. Firpo, wherever he plays, I'm assuming it'd be on that left. Firpo as well. Yeah, nice. Dominating transitions. Both works well for me. Overall ratings: technical, leveled out at B. Physical, B+. Psychological, plus. Ceiling, A. It's got a big ceiling. Like I said, I like to reiterate, can't say that word. There is improvements to be had. Definitely. And there is with all these players. But he's a very good player. Don't get it twisted. And I'm very excited to see how he gets on. There is improvements and there is slight adjustments. Having played in the youth ranks, though, at English level, that will help him, definitely. But this is big boy football now in the Championship. Really physical and tough games for 95 minutes. Quick games. Demanding games. A lot of games in a season. There will be obstacles that he has to overcome. But he's a good player. Overall, a B+. But yeah, that's it, people. Let me know what you guys think. Be excited. But, just be ready. I'm ready. I can't wait. I'm excited to see him. Definitely. But yeah, see you guys in a bit. Bye-bye.